My warm greetings to all the participants of this diploma course. Today we are going to discuss about the topic human aspects in project management. Dear participants, I am sure all of you must have received the printed reading material, and my request is have this reading material along with this DVD, so that because the entire content of this today's discussion is based on the printing material, and if you have this material with you and you can time to time, it will be facilitating you to time refer and see those material whatever we refer. When we talk about project management, you're all senior people of 15 to 20 years of experience. I'm not going to discuss about the entire gamut of project as such or management as such, but you're all familiar with common management process. That is what we say is postcard. That is, it starts from planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and coordinating, reporting, budgeting. So these are all the common management, which is whether it is a project management or a common management, this is the common processes. We know that, we are very familiar with that. But today what we are going to discuss is mainly the human aspects of project management. That is, what are the qualities a successful manager should possess, and what are the skills a manager to be successful, a good decision maker, a good manager, what are the skills he should have. So these are all the things which we are going to discuss, and ultimately we are also going to discuss how the project manager is going to bring about change. How because any project, that if it is any project which is implemented, what is that expected out of a project has to bring about certain change. So that is what the project, and the project, it is the responsibility of the project management to bring about desirable change, maybe in the organization or maybe in the situation. So that is, these are all the things, that is what we say as a human aspect of project management. So today we are going to organize the entire discussion. We will be like this, like we will be starting from objectives of the whole presentation, and we will also discuss about role of the project manager and what are the important qualities, good qualities of a good project manager, and then what is about change management. They see what is that change a project is in which to bring about. So these are all the topics which we are going to discuss today. And I am sure all of you know about Mr. Sridharan. Sridharan, one of the role for any manager, Sridharan is always considered as a role model for manager. And Sridharan is the managing director of the Delhi Metro Railway Corporation. And when you talk about Sridharan, see usually what happens in reality, see the technocrats, the technical people, mostly they may not be a good manager. Likewise, a good manager may not be a good technical person. But it is a unique combination in Sridharan, that is, he is both a technical person as well as a very successful manager. He has got a vast experience working in different different departments of the railway. And how we all know how he has been very successful in timely completing such a mega project like Delhi Metro, and even he has the credit of completing even before time. So that shows the reflection, that reflects his skill, managerial skills, and he himself admits as a managing director of Delhi Metro, though he is also a technical person, and he also knows various techniques, high technology being adopted in the metro railway, but he was more like a manager, more like managing the human beings, managing the resources, and most importantly managing the time, and ultimately bringing about the change in the society, in the way the society, lifestyle of the entire Delhi community. So in that respect, he is more of a successful manager, and just I am giving it as an example. Now when we talk about human aspect, human side of management, project manager, see as a manager, everyone knows what is the role of a manager. A good manager is not a person who himself do everything. A manager is not supposed to do the things himself, everything, but a good manager is one who is able to get things done by others. That does not mean that he should command the work, but he has to influence, he has to persuade, and he has to motivate the people and getting the work done in a way. And what does it mean exactly? What does it imply exactly? It is the most important quality of a manager is identifying the right people and putting them in a right job, right people and right job. That is the most important quality of a manager, because many times what happens, as a manager you are given with the two kinds of situation. One situation is, many times you are given a team. You do not have a choice, you do not have the luxury of selecting the people. You have been given a team members, and from there you will have to select the right people and put them in the right job according to their own qualities. And sometimes rarely managers also have have also asked to choose their own people. In that situation a manager can choose, he has own choice to choose right people for the right kind of job. And today's presentation we will be first discussing about the role of the manager, what are the different role of the manager, starting from as a decision maker and an entrepreneur, change agent, motivator, etc. And then we will also discuss about the qualities of a good manager or the traits of a good manager, like leadership skill, negotiation skill, and time management skill, etc. And then what are the skills a manager should possess, like most importantly the financial management skill and risk management skill, and how a manager can function as a change agent. How a manager is also a change agent, how to bring about change, how to make the people accept change. So that is also one of the great challenge before a successful manager. Now coming to the role of a manager, there are different roles of a manager. So starting from a manager, what is the most important role of a manager? As I told you earlier, manager is not a good manager is not the person who does everything. He is primarily a decision maker. A manager has to take decisions, probably every day he has to take some decisions, every moment he has to take decisions. And decision making is a skill, it is a challenge, and because decision making comes when a problem has many number of alternatives. If a problem has a single alternatives, there is no problem, there is no challenge, but a problem has many alternatives, then which is the best alternative? So that involves a proper decision making. So a manager should be a good decision maker, and at the same time when you talk about decision making, a good decision, and it has to be done taken it quickly without consuming much time. It is a timely decision is one of the most important it's a decision making skill. If a decision is delayed, it is something like no decision, it is something amounts to no decision. And secondly, a manager also should work as an entrepreneur. Actually, though manager himself is not an actual entrepreneur, but he should have an entrepreneurial quality. The most important aspect of entrepreneur is any entrepreneur, he owns his own business or whole entrepreneur. He should own it. He should have the sense of ownership. So a manager also should have a sense of ownership. Whatever the decision he takes, he should own the decision. And also another thing, he should also influence his own subordinates, his own team members, to develop a sense of ownership. So that is the entrepreneurial quality. And of course there is nothing to elaborate. A manager has to be a good communicator, he has to deliver, and whatever the decision he takes, whatever his messages, it has to be properly delivered, everyone should disseminate. And at the same time, as a good communicator, it is not only the delivery but also he should be a good listener, a good listening to the suggestions, listening to the feedback, listening to the ideas, open to the ideas. So that is also one of the important qualities of a good manager. And he is also a change agent, that we will see later, bringing about change, and also the convincing the others about the change. And he is also, finally he is also a firefighter. That means a manager, he has to foresee the risk. What are the possible risks involved in a decision making? He should have the quality to foresee. But at the same time, it is not possible to foresee everything. There may be some situations where may be unforeseen, totally unforeseen. There may be some calamities, there may be some crisis, so which is totally unforeseen. But at the same time, manager should be prepared to face such kind of situation. He should not panic, and but he should face, he should be calm, and at the same time make his own subordinates, team members also comfortable and bravely face such kind of situations. Now coming to the qualities of a good manager or traits of a good manager, there are two categories of skills, traits. One is the human skills and another is the hard skills. Human skills are, there are many number of human skills, like starting from leadership skill. A manager should be a good leader, he should lead by examples. That is what is expected of a good manager. He should never struck away. It is something like a captain of the ship. He should always take responsibility, lead by examples, and he is a good influencer. He should try to convince his own subordinates, his own team members. He should always be influencing, positively influencing. He should always enthuse his teammates, and as we told earlier, he should be a good decision. He should have a decision making skill and also a good communicator. Communicator is both delivery skill as well as listening response skill, listening skills. And he should also be a good negotiator. Negotiator in the sense, manager able to negotiate with outside organization, with different stakeholders, and with the subordinates, with own subordinates. Negotiating is something like creating a win-win situation. It is not a win-lose situation, a kind of a win-win situation, building up a confidence. At the same time, not letting the organization benefits. So that is the negotiation skill. He should be a good trainer. He should also train the people, and most importantly, a good manager is also a good time management. He should have a time management skill. Any task should be finished within the time limit, and time is something like something very similar to financial budgeting. A time budgeting has to be there. Any manager should begin with any task with a time management skill. He should also have a financial management skill, accounting skills, and other like the skills like he should be a good presenter. And wherever there is a business presentation or a formal presentation, he should be able to sell his proposal, sell his ideas. He should have a very good presentation skills before his before the audience, subordinates as well as the management group. He should be able to articulate and then have a good presentation skills. So these are all the skills we talk about as soft skills. Then coming to the hard skills, what are the hard skills? Like technical skills. A manager, as I was quoting the example of Mr. Sridharan, he was both as a technocrat, he is also good at technical skill as well as managerial skills. So a manager, though management process, entire management process involves mostly coordination and other things, but he should also have some basic technical skill. So just like what we say, a good doctor is not only good in treatment of the things, but also a doctor should also know how to dress the common wounds and other things. Though it is primarily a job of a nurse, but the doctor also should know about this. And also a manager should have a good accounting skills or financial skills. So he should be good at budgeting and using the finance, using the limited resources in a very highly profitable way. And a risk management skill. As I told you earlier, risk management, good manager should be able to foresee the risk and what are the risks involved in the decision making and how to face this risk, and also how to face unforeseen risk, unforeseen situations. So that's also, and he is a generalist, and he is a generalist in the sense he should have both the human skills as well as the hard skills. Now coming to the concept of change management. What is change management? See, change management. See, any project, if it is implemented, it is supposed to be bring about certain change within the organization and within the working atmosphere of the organization, and also change in the outcome of the organization. And change is one thing which is as we always tell, in the Newton law says, for any force has got equal and opposite reaction. Likewise, a human tendency is to resist change. Why people resist change? Because it is a fear of unknown. mostly all we human beings, we have the fear of unknown, what is going to happen. So it is a kind of an uncertain situation. That is why people are fuzzy about facing the change, fussy about encountering what are the changes and other things. But as a good manager, he should be always a good manager, prone to change, and also make his own subordinates, teammates to accept change, and also convince them the change brings a desirable benefits to organization. It is going to benefit them. So a good manager, in order to bring about change, he has to be a proactive communicator. He should not wait the people to approach him. He should himself approach his subordinates and teammates, and he should be proactive in communication, and at the same time proactive in getting the suggestions and welcoming the suggestion. And here see, if you are occupying a top management level, and it is always better to have trust in the middle management. Middle management is a very crucial level in the entire management hierarchy, managerial hierarchy, because these middle management cadre, they have the liaising with the low management people, the lower level management at the lower level and at the top level. So they are the crucial people, and they are the key people to get involved in various decision making. So any management cannot ignore the middle level of people. And at the same time, one caution is, as a good manager should also, it is not that when you have to be a good communicator, but it should not be over communicating. But you should only communicate what are the things optimally. You should be optimal communication, particularly avoid grapevine communication, avoid rumors. Grapevine communication is the great source of diffusing the rumors, and it is a very informal way of communication. It does more harm than good. So but at the same time, a manager should also realize he cannot entirely do away with grapevine communication. It has to be there, it always exists, but how to manage it properly so that it doesn't create a lot of chaos in the organization, does not harm, does not do the harm in a way, and it has to be managed properly. And also finally, a good manager should also make the change process gradual. See, as I told you earlier, it is a human tendency to resist change. That too, if a change occurs suddenly, immediately, though it is always people, they always fear about change. A change has to be gradual. Change has to be natural. So in that sense, because we also know change is one thing which cannot be changed, change always remains there, but at the same time it has to be gradual, step by step. It should not happen suddenly. So these are all and so far what we have discussed is, we have discussed about the various human aspects of project manager, various skills a project manager should possess, and various human qualities as well as hard qualities a manager should possess, and how a successful manager also can bring about a good change, desirable change, and how this change has to be accepted within the organization. So these are all the entire process we have just discussed in these 15-20 minutes. And if you have any doubts, any queries, you are free to ask, and you can approach Manage Hyderabad, and you can write down all the queries, send your queries to Manage Hyderabad, and we will try to answer those queries in a more satisfactory way. Thank you so much.